Hare Krishna. Welcome to our little discussion on the topic of tolerance. Tolerance, the foundation to spiritual strength. Tolerance is an extremely important quality to develop within spiritual practice. It can be said that tolerance is the main criteria with which we can measure a person's spiritual advancement and spiritual strength, in how tolerant he or she can be. I'd like to share a couple of nice quotes from the Bhagavatam on the topic of tolerance. Here in the 11th canto, 19th chapter, verse 36 to 39, there is a nice little paragraph where it says, tolerance means to patiently endure unhappiness, such as that provoked by the insults or negligence of others. So insults and negligence, neglect, these are the two things which are most difficult to tolerate. False ego doesn't like it. False ego doesn't like to be insulted. False ego doesn't like to be neglected. So this is a nice definition of what tolerance means, to patiently endure such kind of unhappiness, which comes about by negligence or insult. So tolerance means that even in the most provoking situation, we will not get irritated, we will not get agitated, we will not get furious, angry. That is tolerance. Very, very powerful. There's another nice little quote. This is a verse from 1st canto, 18th chapter, verse 48. The devotees of the Lord are so forbearing that even though they are defamed, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed, they are never inclined to avenge themselves. Very wonderful description of what tolerance means. That's the Vaishnava mood. Vaishnava means he's so forbearing, he's so tolerant, that even though he may be defamed, again, this insult comes out here, insulted, defamed, very difficult to tolerate, cheated, cursed, disturbed, neglected, or even killed. The devotee will never take revenge. He will never have this mood of, oh, I'm going to get back at this person, I'm going to show him, I'm going to defend myself here. No, he's so forbearing. So obviously, one can only be tolerant if the false ego is subdued and dissolved. Because what makes it so difficult to be tolerant is that very point. The false ego, our constant companion and troublemaker, as I like to call it. False ego is rebelling, it's protesting, it is demanding some justice, some protection, some defense. False ego. This is what makes it very difficult to tolerate. It's the false ego. So if a devotee can be tolerant, it is a sign that his or her false ego is dissolved, it is subdued. And that is a sign of advancement. Right? So that's how tolerance is directly a criteria of how advanced a person is. And it is also described in the Bhagavatam that actually only a person who is firmly fixed in his or her relationship with Krishna, he or she can be tolerant. This is also in 11th canto, 22nd chapter, verse 61, where it says, O soul of the universe, the conditioning of one's personality in material life is very strong, and therefore it is very difficult even for learned men to tolerate the offenses committed against them by ignorant people. Only you devotees who are fixed in your loving service and who have achieved peace by residing at your lotus feet are able to tolerate such offense. So basically, true tolerance will manifest proportionally to how we are firmly fixed in our relationship with Krishna. So proportionally to our relationship with Krishna being more and more established, main way is chanting the holy name, the more we can develop this quality of tolerance. Because it means we are simply taking shelter in that relationship. Because that is factual and eternal reality, my relationship with Krishna. Whereas all other things we might be facing here, Prabhupada so nicely says, they are part of the nonsensical stage performance of life in the material world. The life in the material world, nonsensical stage performance, crazy circus. So, and if we are facing some challenges and provocative situations in this crazy circuit, if we can just take shelter in this relationship with Krishna and say to ourselves, thank God I have my relationship with Krishna, and actually this crazy circus has nothing to do with my relationship with Krishna. Different reality. So a devotee whose relationship is more tangibly established with the Lord, he can take shelter in that relationship, and that's what gives him the power to tolerate in the most difficult and provocative situations which might be there facing him. So now, the perfect examples, of course, are always Prahlad Maharaj, Haridas Thakur, firmly fixed in a relationship with the Lord, and thus being the personification of tolerance. Prahlad Maharaj, even though cursed, defamed, almost killed, he never was inclined to avenge himself. Same with Haridas Thakur. Right? Such wonderful examples of this utmost tolerance. So, and of course, there's two tools by which we can cultivate tolerance. First tool is humility. Humble person will be able to tolerate. A proud person will always object. How can they treat me like this? I deserve something else, and. Proud person will always, the ego will rebel. But humble person can tolerate so many things. And that is not all. Humility is tool number one. Tool number two is again faith in Krishna. Only if there's unflinching faith in Krishna, then a devotee can tolerate anything. Because again, he takes shelter in his relationship with Krishna. He understands I deserve so much more than this, but Krishna is so kind. And he can see that there must be a reason why Krishna is giving me this situation. He must be trying to teach me something. If we have faith in Krishna, then we have that vision, that attitude. And then we can tolerate anything, and nothing will deter us in our spiritual practice. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says faith in Krishna is like the currency with which we can purchase Krishna. Very powerful. So, last point, interesting to understand that in material life, tolerance is seen as weakness. Right? Nobody wants to tolerate. It is seen as being a loser. What? You tolerate that? I wouldn't tolerate that. How long should I tolerate? I'm gonna walk out, I get divorced, and. So in material life, to tolerate means to be weak, to be the loser, to be defeated. Whereas in spiritual life, tolerance is like the foundation to spiritual strength. It's 180 degrees opposite. And we are conditioned by these mundane visions of things. And that's why we often have that attitude. Why should I tolerate? Who am I to tolerate this? You don't understand. But now in spiritual life, tolerance is victory. Tolerance is glorious. Not defending and rebelling and walking out and. Yeah, so very, very different criteria of success, right? In material life, in spiritual life, completely opposite. Completely opposite. And of course, married life is the perfect kshetra to cultivate tolerance, especially for us ladies. Often we hear, oh, women are not meant for tapasya and no, let's have a look in the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is full of stories where ladies perform great tapasya, especially in married life. Devahuti, such a wonderful example. How she simply tolerates, follows Kadama Muni, her husband, in his mood, to the extent of neglecting herself, becoming all skinny and emaciated. Such high level of tolerance she's showing, demonstrating. And how is she being rewarded? You know, Kadama Muni creates this whole flying mansion there in the sky for her, and she gives birth to the Lord himself, the Pillar. How much more would a woman want? But the price to pay was that tolerance. Simply tolerating and following her husband. So without tolerance, a woman actually cannot be a chaste and faithful wife. She cannot be. She, at the slightest, conflict and tension, she will throw in the towel and walk out, because she will not be able to tolerate. And there's so many inconveniences to be tolerated, so many challenges. Married life is the perfect field to cultivate tolerance. That's why Grihastha ashram is such a purifying journey, highly purifying. Recently I heard the statement, 30 years of Grihastha ashram and you will be a pure devotee. And it is a fact. It is a fact. And we can see today how difficult it is for devotees to stick together for 30 years, right? It shows how difficult it is to actually become a pure devotee. So much easier to just drop things and separate. So, highly purifying. So, one last little point I want to make. The question often comes up that devotees say to me, well, but tolerance, how often, for how long can I swallow and simply, swallow things and suppress, and sooner or later it builds up in me and I explode and all this negative emotion arises in myself. So, let's be clear. There is true tolerance and there is what I can maybe call false tolerance. So in this kind of false tolerance, where the negativity builds up, that is not tolerance. Why? Because we are actually not doing this internal work of subduing and dissolving the false ego. We're maintaining internally that whole ego battle. It is going on. You know, we're just simply putting the cork on the bottle here, and then the pressure builds up inside. But that is not tolerance. No, it's something else. We're simply suppressing things. But internally, we're maintaining this whole ego battle of, oh, I shouldn't have been treated like this, and I was right after all, and it goes on internally, right? So that is not tolerance. Tolerance means we let go of this ego battle. We subdue, we dissolve, we alright, we let it go by, we let it pass. Alright, Krishna is there. There must be some reason why he's trying to teach me these lessons. I deserve so much more than this. The person who has that attitude, only that kind of devotee can actually let go of these ego demands. Right? But if we don't have that faith in Krishna, then we cannot see Krishna in the picture there, and then we will maintain that whole ego battle inside. And that's what brings up all this negativity, this negative emotion, until we get all angry and frustrated, or we become diseased or whatever. So that is not tolerance. Right? So true tolerance means we have to do that internal work of letting go. And very difficult to do this on one's own. One needs shelter in relationships. Yeah. Because as long as we have material desires and attachments, we actually cannot really assess ourselves objectively. Our vision of ourselves is cloudy, it's foggy. And that's why it is of the utmost importance for devotees to have sheltering, trusting, confidential relationships with a senior devotee who has no other interest except helping me in my spiritual progress. No managerial interest, no financial interest, no emotional interest. Only interest being my spiritual development. If we have such kind of trusting and sheltering relationships, then such persons can help us overcome all kinds of challenges and testing situations in our life. And then we can actually cultivate this tolerance, because false ego will make our vision cloudy and we will not be able to see things properly. And very easily we take shelter of the false ego, we get offended, we walk out. So without these trusting relationships, very, very difficult to actually truly make advancement. Thank you very much.